What's up, everyone? Welcome to this masterclass on a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and it's more critical now than ever: the science of creating revenue generating blog posts in 2026. I'm Nick. I run Blogging with Funnels and the Viral Pins agency, and I just started posting content on this YouTube channel about all things blogging, making money online, becoming a Pinterest expert. I've made multiple six figures on through blogging, through Pinterest, affiliate marketing, selling digital products. Generating ad revenue. I've written thousands of blog posts over the past decade or more. And so, as we know, content is king. But in the age of AI, when AI can now generate 1,000 articles in the time it takes us to write one, that statement is no longer enough. It's incomplete. Today, it's not about creating more content necessarily. It's about creating better content and then at scale eventually. It's about creating strategic assets that don't just sit on a server, but actively generate leads, traffic, build authority, grow your brand, and drive revenue. At the end of the day, that's what matters. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to deconstruct the exact frameworks and systems that separate the top 1% of profitable blogs from the other 99% that are writing into the void. We'll move beyond generic advice and into data-driven strategic approach fit for the realities of 2026 and the future. So let's start by addressing the fundamental shift that has changed the blogging landscape forever. To understand where we're going, we have to understand where we were. The blogging landscape in 2026 is a massive $100 billion industry. Blogs are not dead. But the numbers tell a kind of a daunting story. We're seeing 7.5 million new posts published every single day. That is a level of noise that you're competing against. But here's the silver lining. While 83% of internet users still read blogs monthly, their expectations have shifted. They're no longer looking for generic surface level content. They can get that from an AI chatbot, ChatGPT, in seconds. The critical shift we are seeing is from publish frequently to publish strategically. The old advice of post every day is dead. In 2026, quality is the only algorithmic reality that matters. So we're moving from a volume game into a value game. And then once you can kind of dial that in, we're going to need to scale that value into more volume. And the primary driver of this explosion in volume and the key to our solution is, you guessed it, AI. AI is no longer a novelty, it's a standard. 95% of bloggers now use AI in some capacity. If you aren't using it, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. But look at the timeline. Adoption has skyrocketed from 43% in 2023 to near ubiquity today. Yet only 21% of bloggers report strong results. So what's the disconnect? Because most people are using AI to replace the human. The winners are using AI to enhance the human. The winning formula is simple: AI efficiency plus human expertise. So we use AI for the heavy lifting, like idea generation, outlining, optimization, so we can focus our energy on the high value tasks that AI can't do: storytelling, personal experiences, unique insights, and ultimately building trust, right? So this brings us to our first key principle, the quality imperative. So in a world of infinite AI content, good enough is no longer good enough. It's invisible. The quality imperative dictates that we must create content that is 10 times better than the average search result. This isn't just about word count, it's about depth, utility, and experience. Our goal is not to compete on volume, but to dominate on value. So we'll focus on creating content that is so insightful, so well researched, and so genuinely helpful that it becomes a definitive resource in that category. This is how we win. But before we dive into the how, let's align on the why. Like, what does winning actually look like from a business perspective? Obviously, for everyone, it's different, right? If you're trying to blog to sell a service, coaching, or a digital product versus trying to generate ad revenue from like tons of traffic. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all here to try to make money. So we're not here to talk about blogging as a hobby. I'm here to talk about blogging as a strategic business function. I'm in this to make $1,000 a day by the end of this year. And sharing on my YouTube channel is one way to do it. So let's talk about, revenue. The data shows a stark divide. The top 0.9% of bloggers, a tiny fraction, are earning over $1,000 per month. The rest are essentially making nothing. So what separates these two groups? It's not luck, it's a system. The top performers treat their blog not as a collection of articles, but as a lead generation engine. They understand that traffic is a vanity metric if it doesn't convert. So, our entire strategy today is built around one goal: moving from the 99% into that top 1%. This requires a mindset shift from writer to business owner. Every post must have a purpose, and every purpose must ultimately tie back to revenue. The foundation of the system, the model that allows us to build this revenue engine, is what I call the corpus of content model. So this is the single most important strategic shift you can make. The old model of blogging was a scattered shotgun approach. Write about anything and everything you think your audience might like. The result is a collection of disconnected posts that signal zero authority to Google. Now, this content model is the opposite. It's a focused, deliberate approach to building deep topical authority. Instead of writing 1,000 mediocre posts on 100 different topics, we'll create 50 to 200 exceptional pages concentrated within 4 to 6 key pillars. These pillars are the foundation subjects that your business wants to be known for. Think of it like building a library. Instead of having one book on every possible subject, you're building the most comprehensive, authoritative section in the world on a few select topics. This is what Google rewards. It sees this concentrated expertise and understands that you are the definitive resource, elevating your entire domain on these subjects. So this model only works if we choose the right pillars and, more importantly, understand the user's intent behind every search query within these pillars. So search intent is the why behind a search query. If you misunderstand the why, you can have the best written article in the world and it will still fail to rank because it doesn't deliver what the user actually wants. So there are 4 primary types of search intent. Informational, the user wants to learn something. For example, how does photosynthesis work? Navigational, the user wants to go to a specific website, Facebook login. Commercial, the user is investigating products or services with the intent to buy soon. The best running shoes for flat feet. And then transactional, the user is ready to buy now. So buy Nike Air Zoom Pegasus. A successful content strategy is not just about matching keywords, it's about matching intent. So your content calendar must be a balanced portfolio of these intent types, strategically guiding the reader from awareness to decision. So how do we find the right keywords that align with these intents? That is where AI becomes our indispensable research assistant. So the days of manually brainstorming keywords on a spreadsheet are over. In 2026, we leverage AI to do the heavy lifting, allowing us to focus on strategy. So here's a modern workflow. Number 1, seed your pillar. Start with your 4 to 6 core topics. Number 2, AI expansion. You want to use AI tools to generate hundreds of long-tail keywords, questions, and related concepts for each pillar. These tools can analyze top-ranking competitor content and identify the exact queries they are targeting. Intent classification. The real power move here is to have AI automatically classify each of these keywords by search intent. For example, informational, commercial, etc. This allows you to see your entire keyword landscape from a strategic perspective. This process transforms months of manual labor into a single afternoon of work. It gives us a comprehensive, categorized map of our content universe, ready for the next step, building our architecture. So with our keywords mapped and classified, we can now construct the architecture that signals the authority to search engines, topic clustering. So if the main thing about the content is our library, the topic clusters are the individual meticulously organized shelves. This is a tactical implementation of our authority building strategy. A topic cluster consists of 2 parts. Number 1, the pillar page. This is a comprehensive 3,000 plus word guide covering a broad topic in depth. Think of it as the ultimate resource on that subject. For example, the ultimate guide to content marketing in 2026. Then the cluster pages. These are 10 to 15 shorter, more focused posts that target specific long-tail keywords related to the pillar. For instance, how to use AI in content marketing or best content marketing analytics tool. The magic is in the internal linking here. So the pillar page links out all of the cluster pages and every cluster page links back to the pillar. This creates a tightly woven web of content that signals a deep semantic relationship to Google. It tells the search engine, not only do I have the comprehensive guide on this topic, but I also have deep expertise in all these related subtopics. This is how you build unshakable topical authority. With this architecture in mind, how do we plan and execute the creation of this content consistently? That brings us to the content calendar framework. So a strategy without a system for execution is just a dream. The content calendar framework turns our architectural blueprint into a predictable production schedule. The data is clear. 48% of bloggers who publish consistently on a weekly basis report strong results. So this framework has 4 components. Pillar rotation. We rotate through our 4 to 6 core pillars, ensuring we are consistently building authority across our chosen area of expertise. Number 2, intent mix. We maintain a strategic balance. A good starting point for this is 60% informational content to build trust in audience, 20% commercial to guide decisions, and 15% transactional for direct revenue, and finally 5% navigational to capture brand aware traffic. Number 3, format variety. We mix up our formats to keep the audience engaged. How-to guides, listicles, original research, expert roundups are all powerful tools in this arsenal. And number 4, update schedule. This is crucial. So for every one new post we publish, we update one old post. This is a high level ROI activity you can do, one of the highest ROI activity levels, things you can do. Signaling freshness to Google and ensuring your content remains evergreen. So we plan this on a 90-day horizon, which gives us enough time to execute and measure results without being overwhelmed. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty of content creation in 2026. How do we produce high-quality content at the necessary scale? We use the AI writing workflow. This is where we separate the amateurs from the pros. Amateurs use AI to write the entire article and hit publish. Professionals use AI as a hyper-efficient assistant. So our workflow is a four-phase process. Phase 1, AI research and outline, 15 minutes here. AI analyzes the top 10 competing articles, identifies the key talking points, and generates a comprehensive outline. This alone saves hours of manual research. Phase 2, AI first draft, another 15 minutes. The AI takes the outline and expands it into a full first draft, complete with placeholders for data and examples. This is a heavy lifting. Phase 3, human enhancement. This is the most critical step. This is where you, the expert, come in. You add your unique insights, your brand voice, your personal stories, and you fact check every claim. This is where you inject that Google algorithm that AI cannot replicate. And finally, phase 4, AI optimization. The AI comes back in to do a final pass for SEO, readability, and to generate headline variations for testing. With this system, you can produce a truly exceptional, well-researched and SEO optimized piece of content in under 3 hours, a task that used to take days. But guys and girls, great writing is only part of the equation. To truly capture and retain attention, we need a robust visual strategy. So the data here is undeniable. Posts with images get 94% more views. In 2026, visuals are not decoration, they are retention tools. A wall of text is a death sentence for engagement. So our strategy is multifaceted. Images. We prioritize original images over stock photos. This means custom infographics to explain data, annotated screenshots for tutorials, and even labeled AI-generated images to illustrate concepts. Video here. So while adoption is still growing, embedding short explainer videos or expert interviews can dramatically increase time on page, a key engagement metric for Google. Audio. The rise of podcasts show a clear demand for audio content. Embedding audio narrations to your posts or relevant podcast episodes caters to an audience that's on the go. Remember, the goal in multimedia is to increase understanding and keep the reader on our page longer. Every visual should have a purpose. So now let's talk about the single most important element that determines whether your content gets read at all. Oh yeah, the headline. So the 80-20 rule of headlines is a harsh reality. 8 out of 10 people will read your headline, but only 2 out of 10 will click through to read your article. This means your headline is 4 times more important than the content itself. It is the highest leverage point in your entire content strategy. So we don't guess, we use proven formulas. Numbers. 7 AI tools that will 10x your writing speed. How to generate your first 10,000 as a blogger. Negative. 5 SEO mistakes that are costing you traffic. But we don't stop there. We use AI testing protocol. We generate 20 variations of a headline, use audience testing tools to narrow it down to the top 3, and then A/B test those on our site to find the undisputed winner. A single winning headline can double the traffic to an article literally overnight. So once we've earned the click with the great headline, we need to ensure the content itself is optimized for both users and search engines. This brings us to our optimization checklist. This is a technical foundation upon which all great content is built. You can have the most brilliant article in the world, but if it fails on these 4 fronts, it will never reach its full potential. Number 1, mobile optimization. This one's obvious. With over 60% and growing of traffic coming from mobile devices, this is non-negotiable. It needs to be mobile responsive, readable fonts, at least 16 pixels plus, and large tappable buttons. Page speed. This is a direct ranking factor. We live and die by Google's core web vitals. We need our pages to load, become interactive, and be visually stable within Google's recommended thresholds. This means optimizing images, leveraging browser caching, and using a fast web host. Number 3, accessibility. This is about creating content for everyone. It includes descriptive alt text for images, a proper heading hierarchy for screen readers, and sufficient color contrast. And then readability. This is about user experience. We aim for 8th grade reading level. We use short paragraphs, bullet points, and bold text to make our content scannable and easy to digest. So think of these as the table stakes. You have to get these right to even get into the game. Beyond the initial publication, how do we ensure our content remains a valuable asset over time? We do this through the content maintenance system. So this is the secret weapon of the most successful blogs. 71% of them update old content, and for good reason. It's the highest ROI activity in your entire content strategy. It is far easier to get more traffic to a post that already has some authority than it is to rank a brand new post from scratch. So our system is simple: quarterly cycle. Identify. So we use Google Search Console to find posts with declining traffic or high impressions but low click-through rates. Then we audit. We check for outdated stats, broken links, old screenshots. Then we refresh. We add new relevant information, expand the thin sections, and improve the overall quality. And then we republish. So we change the publish date to a current date and promote it as if it were a brand new article. This process signals freshness and relevance to Google, often causing a significant and immediate boost in rankings. And it ensures our corpus of content remains a living, breathing asset, not a digital graveyard. So as I mentioned, a key part of refreshing content is ensuring it demonstrates expertise, especially in the age of AI. This brings us to EAT in the AI age. In a world flooded with generic AI-generated content, Google's EAT framework, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness is far more important than ever. It is a primary defense and our key differentiator. Expertise is about proving you know your stuff. This means detailed author bios with real credentials, original research that can't be found elsewhere, and unique personal insights that only a human expert can provide. Authoritativeness is about proving that others recognize your expertise. This is built through high-quality backlinks from respected sites in your industry, guest posts on authoritative platforms, and mentions in the media. Trustworthiness is about proving you're legitimate and transparent. This means being open about the use of AI, citing all your sources, having clear contact information, and ensuring your site is secure with HTTPS. For any topic related to your money or your life, health, finance, legal advice, these standards are non-negotiable. AI-generated content by itself will simply not rank for these queries because it cannot, by definition, have real-world expertise or be held accountable. Now let's move on to some of the more advanced SEO strategies that are critical for success in 2026, starting with the challenge of zero-click SEO. So this is one of the biggest challenges and opportunities in modern SEO. A growing number of searches, now up to 25%, end without a single click to a website. Users are getting their answers directly from the search engine results page through things like featured snippets, knowledge panels, and AI overviews. So our goal is no longer just to rank. It's to dominate the entire top section of the SERP. So we have to play a dual game: optimize for visibility within these zero-click elements while still enticing a click. Our tactics include structured data, using schema markup to tell Google exactly what our content is about, making us eligible for rich results like star ratings and event schedules. Answer boxes, providing direct, concise answers to common questions right at the beginning of our articles. And then FAQ schema, formatting parts of our content in a Q&A style to capture the valuable people also ask boxes. So the paradox here is that by providing the answer on Google, you build brand authority. The user sees your name, trusts your answer, and is more likely to click on your result for their next, more complex query. You win the snippet today to win the customer tomorrow. So this conversational question and answer approach is even more critical when we consider the rise of our next topic, voice search. By 2026, it's projected that 50% of all searches will be conducted via voice. With 35% of US households already owning a smart speaker, we're rapidly moving towards a screenless search future. This changes the nature of SEO completely. Voice queries are not like type queries. They are longer, more natural, and conversational. We no longer optimize for best AI tool. We optimize for what is the best AI writing tool for beginner blogger. So our strategy must adapt. So first, target long tail questions. Our content should be built around answering the full questions people are actually asking. 2, write in natural language. Avoid jargon. Write as if you're speaking directly to the user. This is where the 8th grade reading level becomes even more important. And 3, prioritize local SEO. Many voice searches are local in nature. For example, where's the nearest coffee shop? Optimizing your Google business profile and local structured data is key here. So the most critical point on this slide is the banner at the bottom. Voice assistants like Alexa and Google Assistant read the featured snippet aloud. If you win the snippet, you win the voice search. It's that simple. So now we've covered how to get the right kind of traffic. Let's shift gears to the most important part, how we turn that traffic into revenue. This starts with the lead generation funnel. So this is where we transition from writer to architect. Every single blog post must be viewed as a stage in a larger journey you are designing for the reader. So random content creates a random, unpredictable business. A structured funnel creates a predictable revenue machine. So the funnel has 4 key stages, and we map out our content directly to them. Number 1, top of funnel awareness. Here we publish broad informational content that builds trust and attracts a wide audience. A post like how to start a blog is a classic top of funnel piece. The goal here is not to sell, but to offer value in exchange for email address, typically via a lead magnet. 2, middle of funnel consideration. The user is now aware of their problem and is exploring solutions. Our content here is more specific, often comparing different options. A post like best blogging platforms in 2026 serves this stage. The goal here is to guide their decision-making process and introduce a solution. Bottom of funnel decision. The user is ready to make a purchase. The content here is highly specific to your product and service, like a case study or a direct sales page. The goal here is to facilitate the purchase. And retention, the journey doesn't end at the sale. We use email nurture sequences and exclusive customer content to build a long-term relationship, leading to repeat purchases and brand advocacy. The linchpin of this entire funnel, the mechanism that converts a casual reader into a qualified lead, is the high converting lead magnet. So if you have a generic subscribe for updates form on your blog, you're leaving 95% of your potential leads on the table. Those forms convert at less than 0.5%. To earn the right to enter someone's inbox, you must offer a specific tangible value. So there's a clear hierarchy of value when it comes to lead magnets. At the bottom, you have low commitment offers like webinars or generic ebooks. They work, but conversion rates are modest. As you move up, you get to more specific high utility items like cheat sheets, checklists, and resource guides. At the very top, with the highest conversion rates, are tools and templates. These things save the user time and effort. But the secret weapon, the most effective tactic for lead generation, is the content upgrade. This is a lead magnet created for one specific blog post. For example, in a post about the paleo diet, you offer a 7-day paleo meal plan PDF. It's a hyper-relevant and perfectly aligned with the user's immediate intent. So how effective is this? A study by Backlinko showed that content upgrades can increase conversions by as much as 785%. It is the single most powerful way to build your email list. And why is building that email list so critical? Because of the predictable, reliable economics of email marketing. So this is a golden rule of email monetization, a benchmark that has held true for years. A well-nurtured email list is worth approximately $1 per subscriber per month. That means a list of 1,000 subscribers is potential $1,000 per month asset. A list of 10,000 is a $10,000 per month asset. This is how you build a predictable, scalable revenue stream. So why is email so much more valuable than social media? Because you own your email list. It's an asset. Your social media following is essentially rented. An algorithm change can wipe out your reach overnight. With email, you have a direct, unfiltered line of communication to your audience. So the key drivers of this value are, number 1, offer relevance, sell them a product that directly solves a problem that brought them to your list in the first place. Frequency, staying top of mind with consistent, valuable communication. And then trust, earning the right to sell by providing immense value for free first. The math is simple. A higher email click-through rate and a direct own relationship with your audience is an unbeatable combination for revenue generation. Of course, getting them on your list is only half the battle. We need to optimize every step of the process, especially the call to action. So the CTA is the most important element on the page when it comes to conversion. It is a bridge between the reader and the lead magnet. And yet most bloggers treat it as an afterthought. We don't guess, we test. Small data-driven tweaks can lead to massive improvements in conversion rates. So first, we consider strategic placement. We don't just stick a button at the end of the post. We place CTAs where they're most effective. A text link above the fold, a contextual box in line with the content, a sticky banner on the sidebar, and a final high-impact pop-up on exit intent. Second, we systematically A/B test the variables. So we test color. The goal is high contrast. The button should be impossible to miss. Copy, the text should be action oriented. Get the free guide, will always outperform a passive subscribe. And then shape and offer. Even small changes in button shape or adding a sense of urgency can have a measurable impact. And as the banner at the bottom highlights, personalization is the ultimate lever. A CTA that is personalized to the user's behavior or interest can convert over 200% better than a generic one. This is the science of conversion. But how do we know if any of this is working? We need a dashboard that separates the signal from the noise. So this is a command center. A successful blog is run on data, not feelings, but it has to be the right data. So we must distinguish between vanity metrics and sanity metrics. Page views are a vanity metric. They make you feel good, but they don't pay your bills. Our dashboard focuses on the 4 sanity metrics that actually drive business results. Number 1, traffic quality. We want to see over 60% of our traffic coming from organic search. This is high intent traffic from users actively looking for solutions. Engagement. We're looking for a time on page of over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This tells us that our content is deep, engaging, and holding attention. 3, conversion. This is our opt-in rate, the percentage of visitors who join our list. Our target here is a healthy 2 to 5%. And then revenue, the ultimate sanity metric is revenue per lead. This tells us exactly how much each new subscriber is worth to our business. By focusing on these 4 numbers, we can make strategic decisions that directly impact the bottom line rather than chasing meaningless traffic spikes. This dashboard is the input of our final strategic loop, the optimization loop. So a blog is not a static asset. It's a living system that requires constant refinement. The set it and forget it mindset is a recipe for stagnation. The top 1% of bloggers operate on a continuous optimization loop, and this is what that looks like. It's a weekly cycle with 4 stages. Review. Every Monday, we look at our analytics dashboard. We identify the 10 posts that are underperforming, maybe traffic is down or the conversion is poor. 2, hypothesize. We form a data-driven hypothesis. I believe the bounce rate is high because the introduction is weak. Or I believe the conversion rate is low because the CTA is not compelling. And then test. We execute a single measurable change based on our hypothesis. We rewrite the intro, we change the CTA button, color, or copy. And then we measure. We wait 14 days to allow for statistical significance, and then we measure the impact. Did the change produce the desired lift? If yes, we roll it out to other relevant posts. If no, we learn from it and form a new hypothesis. This is a scientific method applied to content marketing. It's a system of small incremental gains that over time lead to massive compounding growth. A 1% weekly improvement results in 67% growth year over year. This might seem like a lot to implement, so let's make it actionable. I've broken it down into a 90-day transformation roadmap. As we know, knowledge without execution is just entertainment. So this is your step-by-step plan to turn the strategies we've discussed today into reality. Month 1 is all about foundation. You will conduct a full content audit to identify your starting point. You define your 4 core content pillars, and you'll set up your analytics dashboard to track the sanity metric as we discussed. Month 2 is your production engine. So you'll publish 4 deep dive pillar posts using the AI assisted workflow. You'll optimize every single one for 0-click and voice SEO, and you'll create your first high value content upgrade for your top performing post. Month 3 is where we scale. We'll begin repurposing your pillar content into video and audio formats. You'll run your first A/B tests on headlines and CTAs, and you'll begin a targeted outreach campaign to build 5 high quality backlinks to your new pillar pages, cementing your authority. This is an aggressive but actionable plan. It's designed to build momentum and deliver measurable results within a specific single quarter. The goal is to transform your blog from a cost center into a revenue generated asset. Thank you for watching this video. I know we covered a lot, probably longer than I wanted it to be, but I felt like there was a lot to get in. Definitely let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I have some free resources on Pinterest and blogging in the description, depending on when I post this. Developing some new stuff. I have a Pinterest product coming out that'll help you scale to 500 plus a day. But ultimately, just subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing all of my insights about blogging, AI stuff. Pinterest specifically is my number 1 traffic and revenue generating traffic source. Have a really cool YouTube experiment I'm doing this month. Across 6 different pages, I'll be posting about 58 long form videos. So that should be interesting. Wish me luck because my kids have spring break. But yeah, enjoying this content ride, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you later. Subscribe. See you for the next video.